too, because that's a reference to what happens at the end of Revelations after all the bad people are in hell and all the good people got our bodies back. I saying our bodies back advisedly. And all the saved people are hanging out with Jesus in the New Jerusalem, and they're having the wedding feast. The angels are saying, prepare prepare for the great wedding feast of the Lamb. You know, the Lamb is going to marry his bride, and the church comes out and she's dressed like a beautiful bride, just like my wife was. And I know just what that's like. And that's the wedding feast. It will go on for eternity. And that's why the church is mentioning this, is because at this moment you are about to participate in that wedding feast which will go on eternally in heaven. And this, for these few moments, God is extruding himself down so that this becomes possible for us. And then the last thing is we say, Lord, I'm not worthy that you should enter under my roof, but only say the word, and my soul shall be healed, which of course is quoting the Roman centurion. I love that centurion. Was he a Jewish person? No. Was he a pagan? Yes. Did he have faith in Jesus? Tons. Now remember, for example, Jairus' daughter was sick. He comes to Jesus and says, Jesus, my daughter is sick. Come home with me right now. You know? Okay, he says, it's like, could Jesus just go, oh, don't worry about that. She's healed. He goes, oh, I don't know. I just want you to come just to make sure. You know, Jairus has got faith, but it's not up there with the pagan man. You know, Jesus says, okay, well, come on, Mr. Centurion, I'll come with you to your house. He says, no. First of all, I'm not worthy for you to come to my house. And the second thing is, I have so much faith in you that I know if you just say it, that it's going to happen. I don't need you to go lay hands on my servant. I know your power is actually much, much greater than that. Partly out of experience, because this is like, I'm an officer, I'm in charge of me. I say go do that, I don't have to go check up on them. I know they're going to do that. I always think that adds a lot of authenticity to the story. That would be something that someone in his position would say, yeah, I know what power is, and I know how it can be used, and I know that you don't always have to see to understand that things are going to happen. So if you just say the word, I know that my servant will be healed. For me, it's that same thing as the church saying, you are about to eat God. If you have as much faith as this pagan Roman soldier, you'll do just fine. And if he could have that much faith, managing on his own as a poor pagan guy in Jerusalem, how much help have we had in our lives to amp our faith up to where he managed to get it in his day? And then, of course, we eat Jesus, and then he sits around our tummy for probably about 10 or 15 minutes. That's what I was taught by the nuns when I was a child. And that's kind of, when God is physically present in you, it's like that antidote to sin is kind of working against the sin, which is part of us, because remember, sin is a physical part of us because we're spirit and stuff, body and soul, all together. The body sins, the soul, the body gets sick, it gets diseased, it gets old, all these nasty sin things. Yeah. So eating God periodically, every Sunday, every day, man, that's got to be good for you. That's got to be healthy for you. And the last thing is to say, go forth, the Mass is ended, and then especially everybody's so happy to say, thanks be to God, because it was 90 minutes. And now, here's what we do at the end. Now, on Sunday it's 90 minutes. It goes so fast, so I'm not complaining. Here's what we've got to do now. This is the last thing we do at the end of Sunday school every year. All right. Because remember, the whole point of all this stuff with the Bible and everything was getting to the Mass. Right? Here's our pre-celebrating Mass. Here's the stuff. Now, what I want to do is think of all the things that we've learned out of the Bible that show up in the Mass. Okay? Now the first one would be, this is an easy one, manna. Of course, the miracle bread is being recalled here. Anybody want to volunteer some? I have about 9, but y'all can probably nail some of them. Okay, here's another one. Let me get my little list. Keep going. I'm so old I can't remember. Okay, this one. Passover. Right? Sacrifice a lamb, get some goodies. Let me mark these out there. Ah, of course. I know. It's a one. I do this every year and I still can't remember. Abel offered a lamb. And is a lamb offered at Mass? Yes, a lamb is offered at Mass. Same thing. Is some kind of miracle bread offered at Mass? Miracle bread's offered at Mass. Do we sacrifice a lamb and that spares us the consequences of sin? Yes, the same thing again, which is why this is, of course, kind of an update of the new covenantal version of what goes on at a Passover dinner, which is no accident that Jesus did it on the Passover. This other one, the wedding feast of the Lamb. Trust me, that's what that says. Wedding feast of the Lamb. Melchizedek shows up because Jesus is the high priest who brings out bread and wine like Melchizedek did. And remember, that's one reason why Jesus had bread and wine at the Last Supper, was so that he could riff on Melchizedek, and so that then we could do it forever at Mass. Jesus is so cool. He thinks of all this stuff ahead of time. Okay, here's another one. Abraham and Isaac. Abe and Isaac, because an only begotten son was offered, and not only was an only begotten son offered, but also we're getting a substitute. Because God loved Abraham too much to demand his son. He says, okay, but you've got to kill me a substitute. In this case, the only begotten son is the substitute for us having to sacrifice ourselves. Man. Oh, here we go. Loaves and fish. Because with that prior miracle of multiplying loaves and fish is like an anticipation, especially in the structure of the way that miracle was worked and administrated, harks always directly comes into the Mass. Of course, the crucifixion, although not directly, but still, if the offering had not been killed, then we wouldn't be having God with Jesus would not have paid the price for all of something crucified. Couldn't have said, okay, I offered myself last night and watch me, boom, up to heaven he goes, no dying. No, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. My goodness, maybe that's everything. Everything. 1, 2, 3. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's all the stuff that we can think of tonight that the Mass ties into great and fabulous themes out of the Bible. So, that is it for the year. Get fired up. And remember, there's no class ever again, so don't show up down here expecting something to happen. All right. Oh, we got one more thing. We have to have our closing acclamation. My goodness, I remembered it myself. Praise be Jesus Christ.
No.
Now and forever. Okay, now it's really over. Thank you all for coming.
Christian.